Are you all ready for your headliner? Yeah. All right. Very happy to bring to the stage. You're going to love him. Make it really loud for Will Ness.
Keep it going for Aunt Jamie and Kay Marie, the ladies.
Are you a cop?
I haven't even started yet. You, by the way, have been graciously holding back tonight. You need to interrupt way more. So, thank you for being so polite. And while we're thanking people, let's give it up for the Joes for letting us do this bummer parade in here of dudes. You know they turn every single one of these candles on by hand every night. There are so many. My fingernail would break if I had to turn on all those. There's so many candles in here. Oh my God. Christian put together a themed show of just dudes. That's not a theme, that's just a comedy show. Like that's just what happens every time. I guess we'll get into it. As Kay Marie, I have a big head and I look like a cop.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, but when I dress like a cop, I just look like a stripper. And I don't know how to fix that about myself. And by the way, I have the utmost respect for strippers, right? Because they are the only business people who will always accept wet money, no questions asked. Try that with anybody else. Peel off a wet dollar bill and see if they'll take it. Stripper, they'll take it every time. All right, that's the end of my TED Talk.
You do look like you give TED Talks.
Do I? I look like a cop that gives TED Talks?
Yes.
What TED Talk would a cop give?
On gaslighting your barber.
On gaslighting your barber? My barber didn't do this. Time did.
Time is the son of a bitch.
Yeah, this is God's fault. This is not my barber's fault. My hair is lost somewhere in the sands of time. And I don't miss it. I really don't. I like the fact that I can just shave my head. And I think the best part about shaving your head is that you are only 2 eyebrows away from looking completely insane. Right? Like I lower the razor just a little bit. I get a seat on the bus whenever I want one. And I think that's nice. I think that's a benefit. I do. I think summer is finally and officially over. We are done with summer. And I, for one, am thankful. I was ready for summer to be done in May.
Me too.
Yes. I don't have air conditioning. Do you have air conditioning? No. I started smoking menthol cigarettes just so I could get some cool air this summer.
Swampy ass.
Yes, all the time at home. Like that's the worst. Have swampy ass out. So I grew up with box fan parents. Did anyone else here have box fan parents?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So for those of you that don't know, a box fan is a device that you stick in a child's bedroom window to pump hot outside air directly into that bedroom window, and your parents give that to you because they care about you. And they love you. And then they high five and they go smoke a cigarette in front of that box fan window because they care about you and they love you. Oh, good times. I always found it interesting how divorced parents, they make it a point to tell their kids, like, this isn't your fault. Which is why I think that parents who stay together for the kids should tell them point blank, this is your fault. Like, carry that, be honest or don't, you know? Speaking of smoking, by the way, I think that vaping has ruined smoking. I do. Like, blowing smoke into a child's face is pointless. if their reaction is, pancakes. Right? And if you like to smoke in bed, but you take out the thrill of possibly waking up in a house fire, smoking in bed is just boring. And if you're a stepdad, if like you're a white trash stepdad, you can't put a lit vape out on a mouthy teenager. You know, or flick like a lit vape cherry in the back of some prick's convertible in traffic. It doesn't work. And you, by the way, you could tell a cop that he can kiss your ass with a vape dangling out of your mouth, but it's not tough. Like, it doesn't hit the same. I think I lost a lot of you there. Did I have a different childhood than some of you? Maybe. I don't know. Do you remember when, like, they used to build cars with cigarette lighters in them?
You're dating yourself.
It's fine. I'll be doing more of that later. I'm fine with that. Like, they don't make cars like that anymore. Like, how are unsupervised kids supposed to learn about third-degree burns while their mom grocery shops? He's shaking his head like he remembers. Like, all of my fingers were burned at one point in time with that cigarette lighter. My mom went into the post office, the grocery store, all my fingers got burned. All right. Kids are getting sober these days. They are. It's fine, you know, like drink water, eat crackers, be healthy or whatever. I don't care. But I'm just concerned that the next generation isn't going to have any more good stories. You know? Because if we're not getting drunk, then we're not going to have any stories about how Chad got drunk and shit his pants. Right? You ever been around someone who shit their pants sober? It's a bummer. It's a real like, Chad's sick. We got to take him home.
Are you Chad?
I'm not Chad, but I've known a lot of Chads. I could be Chad. Like, but if that happens 900 beers deep, that's funny forever. No one else thinks that shitting their pants is funny. The sober's a little bit of sober's a different thing where you're like, no, we just need like, but drunk is like, yeah, we'll just throw him in his front yard and hose him off. It'll be fine. It's his wife's problem. All right, that's just me. That's fine. Cracker Barrel was in the news. Or as I call it, Civil War Applebee's. I never understood that business model. Like, why is there an old-timey store in the front of this family restaurant? Their whole thing is, you know what? You come on in and eat some meatloaf around these rusty farm tools and sports equipment we keep on the walls. And at the end of that meal, you will have the opportunity to buy a rocking chair for the price of a flat-screen TV. Welcome to Cracker Barrel. Call me old-fashioned, but I prefer Dairy Queen over Cracker Barrel. Yeah, because there's no gimmick at Dairy Queen, right? It's just two dead-eyed employees sweating through polo shirts. Because Dairy Queen is where ice cream meets methamphetamine. And that's what I like about it. Because you want your ice cream snappy, right? And they get it to you. Like, I want it before it melts. But they do flip like the DQ Blizzard upside down and they show you. And that's not a gimmick. That's Dairy Queen going, listen, you can't chug this. So don't try. I do think, however, the greatest thing that's ever been invented by people is the Dairy Queen soft serve cone with the cherry shell. Right? Like, we're never going to top that. But I've been writing letters to DQHQ suggesting different uses for that cherry shell. Because I was like, hey, let's try dipping a Winston cigarette in that cherry shell. Right? We'll call it the DQ Weekend Dad. If you can crack open a Miller High Life bottle with your eye socket, you get one for free. Once again, I think I had a different childhood than a lot of you. I'm not originally from Portland. I grew up in rural Pennsylvania. Does not deserve claps. That's very correct of you. It's very correct of you. I drank a lot of Kool-Aid as a kid. And I think the best part about Kool-Aid is that it makes lead water taste delicious. Right? My parents, when I was 6 years old, they made me finish a glass of orange juice they found on the dining room table, which ended up being my aunt's screwdriver. And that was the best day of my life.
That was the beginning of your alcoholism.
Well, I think that was predetermined, honestly. But that was a good, like, I went around the house just belting out Freebird on my big wheel. I threatened my family with a loaded Nerf gun. And I took a face-down nap on a Little Tykes table.
And that's why you're a cop.
And that's why I look like a cop, yeah. That's not the first time I took a face down. I think that face down naps, that's the best way to sleep outdoors, honestly. Like, it really lets people know, don't bother me. Now I moved to Portland. I think Portland's doing great. I do. I parked downtown today and I learned something. And that's, if parking next to a used condom is bad, and it is, coming back to your car 20 minutes later to find that condom gone, worse. Like, I'm glad the city's using them, you know, and that does seem sustainable. You're right. But maybe a new one. And then the other day, I walked out of my apartment, and across the street, I saw an old mattress spray painted with the name Dan and a question mark, and that was it. And just like on the spectrum of scary garbage to see first thing in the morning, an old mattress that's looking for somebody, that's high on the list. Like, that's creepy as shit. And then my neighbor's boat got stolen. Like, he kept his boat on a trailer on the street. Someone just drove up in the middle of the night with like an old Chrysler LeBaron and rolled off with his boat. Because sometimes crime gets it right. Like, how dare you take up a spot in Portland Metro with a fucking boat, right? What I'm trying to say is I stole my neighbor's boat. The city's getting to me, and I need to park. God damn it! I rent a whole house. Thank you. It is impressive. I agree. Anyone else ever find a trash bag full of clothes in your basement and just start wearing them? Does that just mean, like, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth and you appreciate good garbage when you find it, right? Because I got a sweater that came with a free rash. Yeah, you can't get that at Macy's. And just so you know, Hawaiian shirts, they're not bought. They're found. A Hawaiian shirt's like a cat. Only an idiot buys a cat. Go find a cat. They're everywhere. So I have 23 Hawaiian shirts, 7 more, and I legally own a Trader Joe's. Like, that's the rule. That's how that works. So I'm looking forward to that day. This is going great. All this works way better in Salem, you know?
You're killing it.
Thank you. I'm not, but it's fine. Here's a double standard nobody talks about. How come single guys without kids can't have stuffed animals?
Because they're pedophiles.
Right. Exactly. Like, when a lady does it, it's adorable. When I do it, it looks like one of two things. Either I just lost a child, or I'm trying to lure one in. Right? Like, if there's a thunderstorm, I'm out of luck. I got to go find my cuddle bourbon. That's a bottle of wild turkey I keep under my bed in an old sweatshirt. Should get you some cuddle bourbon. This has been less of an interruption and more of a just, I'm going to ruin jokes for you. That's all right. That joke wasn't ruinable. So I'm drinking Mad Dog 2020 again because I like fun, right? Like you guys know like Mad Dog. Yeah, I call it angry Kool-Aid because it comes in fun popsicle colors, and it has like 20 grams of sugar per serving. And you're like, well, that's not that bad. That's like boozy Kool-Aid until the aftertaste of paint thinner and batteries hits you. Like, did you guys know that Mad Dog is technically wine? Which everyone just ignores when you bring it to a dinner party. Right? This is a 2023 blue raspberry. What do you guys want from me? I just like the vibe of Mad Dog. I like the lifestyle, you know? Because sometimes you got to pick a fight in a public library. Or find out how drunk is too drunk for a bus station. That's an official company slogan. Mad Dog, too drunk for a bus station. Also, I've been trying to get outdoors more, right? And Mad Dog, that's strictly an outdoors beverage. Right? Like if you drink Mad Dog and then you go to sleep inside, that's stolen squalor. You're not supposed to do that. Yeah. You don't put on a military uniform if you haven't served, and you don't go to sleep inside after Mad Dog. Now you know. That's the second TED Talk. You guys into night digging? Yeah. It's just digging at night. There's nothing illegal about it. You know, this is a free country. What I do in my yard with a duffel bag and a leather apron is it's my business. There are a lot of like weird hobbies out there. Sometimes I like to go to the gun range and give out surprise tickles. Right? You know, it's just like, yeah, keep your feet set. Now you know, okay? Speaking about aging myself, I turned 40 this year. It's, you know, I finally hit the age where I can start using LinkedIn to hit on women.
Ouch.
Out, but you know it's true. So that's something to look forward to. And now, like, I've noticed that when people meet me for the first time or they haven't seen me for a while, that now people just assume that I'm divorced, which I've earned to a certain extent. I once had a psychic tell me that I have big alimony energy. So that's something to look forward to, I guess. And I'm like trying to find things about middle age to get excited about, you know, like dance like nobody's watching or whatever. But I listen to music like Bob Seger. You guys know Bob Seger? Yeah. You don't dance to Bob Seger, right? Like you listen to Bob Seger while you stare at a revolver. Like that's aging gracefully. That's growing up. I got some patio furniture, and by that I mean I left a couch in my yard. Yeah, and love a good yard couch, because yard couch tells the neighbors two things. One, I smoke, and two, I clearly rent. But when the police are here, this is my property. Right? And of course, the best part about having a yard couch is, correct, burning it. Like, there's just something about a couch fire that you cannot get with a normal bonfire. I don't know, like if it's like the toxic fumes or the out of control flames or the multiple off-leash dogs that are always around a couch fire. It's just a part. Like I've never been to a couch fire where there weren't also whippets.
Black people don't do couch fires.
They should. You're missing out. I'm sure black people have couches to burn. We all do. What do you do with old couches?
We sell them on Facebook Marketplace, or we try to, and then you have to try to sell it, and then you keep making the price go down, and then you give it away for free, and then Russians buy it.
That's indirectly burning a couch. Those Russians are burning that couch, trust me. And they usually have off-leash dogs. Love a good couch fire. I was watching the documentary After Porn Ends the other day. And spoiler, it's a bit of a downer. Like, everyone's always worried about what happens to the actors after porn ends, which is great. Like, be worried about them for sure. I want to know what happens to the furniture after porn ends. Because I was in a secondhand store in Portland, and I saw a couch that I recognized. Right, and I was like, hey, listen, big fan of your work, okay, first off. Because it's still good furniture, right? Like, it doesn't deserve to be just given away to a Russian. Like a dog will puke on a couch multiple times, and we just scrub that out and take a face-down nap right in that spot. Nobody gives a shit. But if 5 to 9 freshly shaved and showered professionals film a more interesting version of Harry Potter on that couch, straight to Facebook Marketplace, like straight to the burn pile. And that's not fair. Like, you're not supposed to shame your love seat just because it had an awesome summer. Just accept your furniture for who it is. Give it a second chance. All right, let's land this. I drink alone a lot. I don't know if that's just been made obvious throughout all this yet. And there's a lot of bad habits you develop when you drink alone. Like, I've never understood why when people drink bourbon out of a mason jar, that's considered rustic. But when I drink vodka out of an old salsa jar, that's a problem. Like, that's arbitrary. Where's that line drawn, And then, when you finally go to the bar, you can't just start ordering home drinks at the bar. Like, what do you drink? Because when I'm at home, I like to drink something that I call a London midterm. All right? And that is just straight gin and Adderall. Like, a lot of bars don't have that, You got a little lemonade, we'll call it a Focus Tom Collins. Work with me here. I also like something that I call the Salty Rancher. And that's just bourbon and beef bouillon. And that's how you get your electrolytes when you're drinking alone. And that's important when you're drinking alone, okay? Another thing that I found out is that Scope mouthwash, not a mixer. Which I take umbrage with that. Because first things first, Scope mouthwash is 19% alcohol by volume, technically a liqueur. So that's one. Two, I like to mix Scope mouthwash with Scotch whiskey, and I call it Scotch. Like, if you sell Rumplemints, you have no excuse why you can't sell me a Scotch. It's a minty, fresh gentleman's beverage. All right, I'm Will Ness. Thank you so much.